right now, the market and headlines are very excited about a few disruptive technology companies coming out of China. We don't think these businesses are mispriced. They represent a very large part of the EM benchmark. And quite frankly, when you look at these businesses, even 3 years out, you're seeing multiples that are north of 30 times. And it highlights that markets are a discounting mechanism. What we're finding is that there's a lot of opportunities in the financial sector in EM, and I'll walk you through kind of the type of opportunities that we're seeing in the financial sector, in telecoms as well. In EM, for example, in telecoms, people have the same level of addiction towards their cell phones, right? And we're finding that critical scale of smartphones is reaching to those levels. Average revenue per user is improving, so people are needing and looking for data usage. But the key thing is that in EM, scale matters. So for example, we have an investment in Indonesia of a leading cellular company. In Indonesia, it's thousands of islands, right? And if you have the scale to make the appropriate coverage, you're able to provide your customers with a cost-effective solution and actually generate very high levels of financial productivity. We see the same developments happening in Latin America. We have an investment in a Mexican telecom operator that has cross-regional exposure, highly profitable, and are really benefiting from the consumer upgrading of their cell phones. Today in our portfolio, we don't see as much mispricings in the materials sector. We're focusing on the functional materials. So that is an area that we still feel that there is some areas of overcapacity, as well as companies that need to improve some of their balance sheets. Financials is by and far the largest weighting that we have in the portfolio. It's our largest absolute weighting that we've had in the history of the portfolio. It's north of 30%. I mentioned to you earlier Sberbank, which is a leading bank in Russia. We're seeing similar developments in Brazil, for example. Banco do Brazil, which is a leading bank in that country, today is still trading at close to 1x price to book. You're seeing the economy that has gone through a very nasty recession is now showing some signs of life. GDP growth is going to be north of 2.5% projected this year, and lending is slowly coming back. We find, for example, from a regional context, some of the big changes in South Africa are creating some opportunities. I mean, South African economy was seeing very low levels of growth, and you had a very challenging political backdrop. Now with the president being forced to resign, and now the new president Ramaphosa, who's actually bringing more orthodox policies, South Africa is now coming back on a lot of investor radars. So we constantly are traveling. We're meeting companies. We're looking for where there's the greatest mispricings. We don't want to invest in businesses that are well priced, that don't offer a lot of fundamental upsides, just because they happen to be big parts of the benchmark. Our portfolio today is approximately 75 securities in the portfolio. We have an active share of close to 79%, so quite high active share. And really, our allocation by country and sector is a function of where we have conviction, where we see absolute fundamental mispricings.